The world of addiction is now an epidemic, touching all communities. Join April Kirkwood, an actual therapist, as she shares insights with her show, After Detox, Now What? It's never too late to begin again.
Hi, welcome to After Detox. Now what? My name is April. I'm a counselor, and I am very concerned about this epidemic, the cycle of people going in and out of detox, and the never-ending story that it just wasn't enough. Today I'm going to ask you to make one of the most important decisions of your life that will be an integral part of your recovery process and how successful that is. And it's not just for recovery and addiction, because it's all of us. The world has gone crazy. Anxiety is one of the number one mental health problems in America today, overriding depression. Suicide rates are still up. I mean, it's a mess. We're running around not knowing what to do, how to stop. So let's begin just closing our eyes and blocking out all that we've been worrying about, all the tension, all the strife. You can circle your head one way and then the other. There is no right or wrong to relaxing, no specific way to breathe. Just let's take 3 deep breaths. You don't even have to hold it. Just relax. Don't work so hard at it. If you do, it's not going to work. Breathe in and breathe out. Feeling all the muscles, all the cells in your body just going limp. Breathe in and out. And once again, breathe in and out. And let us take our hands and interlace our fingers, representing, integrating our outside world with our inside world like we've never have before. As we do this, I'm going to ask you to rub your hands, igniting now excitement, getting your heart chakra moving, improving your energy. As we set our intention for today, or you can always use mine. My intention today is to have the courage to be truthful with myself. I have to realize I don't owe anybody else an explanation more than I do me, myself, and I. You know, an addict once told me a story. Touched me. I'd like to share it with you. There was once a little boy, and he was adorable, big eyes, shiny hair, lived in a house with his family. He was real little, 4 years old, 5 years old, and he started to see things that made him unhappy. He was feeling yucky inside, things that were going on, fighting, arguing over money, arguing between mommy and daddy. He didn't know what to do. So he did what most little kids do. He went outside and found some friends. He brought them in the house and took them in his bedroom. And he wanted to show them one little thing he had that he thought was so special. He just loved to look at it. It was a little fire he had built in his corner of his bedroom. The little kids really loved it. Each day, they would practice the fire getting bigger and bigger, growing larger and larger. Eventually, yes, Puka, thank you for sharing that. Eventually, the fire got really, really huge. And his friends, as the years went by, said, you know what? I got burnt once playing with your fire. I don't want to play with that anymore. So his friends quit coming to see him and his fire. But it didn't matter by then. He was so intrigued with the fire. It made him feel warm inside. It made him feel complete. He no longer worried about his mom or his dad or his sister, or what they were doing out in the world or who they were arguing with. It was like he had his own special way of relaxing and letting all the stress go. In fact, it felt so good that he quit going to school. Mom and dad argued about it, but they had so much going on in their own lives that they just said, just do it, okay, do it. Just be okay, be okay. Eventually, the fire got so large he couldn't go in his bedroom anymore. He was getting older by then, so he had moved out into a little place with his fire. His friends no longer came. The fire was too big. In fact, the fire was so large he had to live in the kitchen. Eventually, the fire came into the kitchen. It wasn't long that neighbors stopped by and said, "Hey, buddy, can we help you? I mean, this fire looks like it's out of control." He said, "No, no, no, it's not out of control. It's fine. I love my fire." They said, "Okay, well, if you need anything, let us know." But he was okay with the fire and the feelings it gave him of security, of relaxation. Eventually, the fire grew into the kitchen. Before he knew it, he was living in the living room area. Pretty soon, police stopped by and they saw the fire from the front window. And they knocked on the door and they said, "Sir, are you okay? I mean, this looks like this could be very dangerous. Can we help you in any way?" The young man said, "No, no, no, I don't need any help. I'm fine. I've got this." Before you know it, I guess you can imagine what happened next. The fire came into the living room and engulfed the whole house. The firemen came and they had their hoses out. He said, "No, no, no, I don't need any hoses. This is my property. Let me do what I want. You don't understand. You don't understand what this fire means to me." Well, it was private property. They tried. They walked away. Eventually, that young man died in the fire that he had created, once as something that would protect him, keep him warm, give him a feeling of security, and it destroyed him. Now, what do you think about that story? Are your drugs like that? Your drinking, your sex, your gambling? A number of addictions that are running rampant in America today, in the world for that matter. Starts out something that's fun, that's good, and people want to hang out with you, and then all of a sudden people start to disappear. It's too much. It's way too much. People want to help you. What would have you said to that kid? "Hey, buddy, you're going to burn your house down. You're going to get in trouble. Nobody can help. You've got to let us help. It's out of control." Until it destroyed him and he was dead. That's what our addictions do to us. Eventually, they destroy us. That young man couldn't see what he was doing. I don't know what he thought the last few minutes before the fire sucked the very oxygen out of his body, burnt him. We never will know that. But I do know that he was once a beautiful little boy, with shiny hair and big eyes, that had so much potential, so much going for him. And he hid from problems with his fire, with his addiction. What was his main problem? Perhaps he was hurt. Perhaps he wasn't willing to ask for help. Perhaps he actually thought that he could handle it himself. But he couldn't. And now it's over, and he's dead. And all that's left is a mound of trash and ashes standing over the basement of the core of where this one young person didn't, for some reason, get the concrete foundation that he needed. My question to you is, can you be truthful? Are you really, really, really ready to ask for help and accept it? Are you really, really ready to put out the fire in your life? Are you really ready to move on? I'm asking you to look in the mirror and to be truthful with yourself. Detox isn't going to work. Going to church isn't going to work. Going to 12-step isn't going to work. Going to the halfway house isn't going to work. Going to Florida. None of that in and of itself will work unless you are ready to get real and truthful with yourself, saying, I have a problem and I want out. Do you really want out? I mean, really? Some of these people use detox centers as vacation place, get away from their drug dealer, appease the court system, get mom and dad off their back, find a place to rest, place to sleep for the night. They still have that fire. They still like to mix it up. They're not ready to let it go. Truth. What is your truth today? Are you serious? I have some questions I'm going to put on my website, aprilkirkwood.com. And I have questions for parents and wives and husbands and children of addicts as well. Are you ready to get to your truth? Are you ready to do the work you need to do? Addiction is a family affair. Nobody is totally innocent, and if someone told you that, they're full of it. Are you somehow part of the problem? The good news is you can be part of the solution. The good news is you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm done with this fire. I'm going to take the help. I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to go back into the foundation. Even if everything else is burnt and I'm still breathing, there's a chance. There's a chance for me to make it right. You can do it. I've seen it happen. It's not always easy. Where there is pain, there is healing. And where there is healing, it takes work and, number one, truth. Our intention today, I am choosing to look at myself truthfully. I am choosing to look at myself truthfully. Until next time when we meet again, I love you. I praise you. I appreciate you. You are God's child. Great things happen to you. Nothing can stop it except you. Choose today to find your truth. It's a beautiful truth because after we see the truth, we can see the light. I promise you this, after darkness always comes morning. It's never failed yet. And it never will. God bless.
Download the podcast, receive handouts, join her mailing list for extra tips. Go to aprilkirkwood.com now. Blessings from the staff and April, wishing you health, wealth, and happiness.